I'm Emily Ann Roberts, and this is my song, The Building.
I can't help but wonder if these floorboards creaked.
So the day that we started writing The Building, we actually didn't set out that day to write that song. It just kind of fell in our laps. I had an appointment with Michael Farren. I had never written with him before, and I was a huge fan of his work, and so I was really excited to be in the room with him. And I got to his house, and we started talking, getting to know each other, and we wrote a song that day, a real sassy song. I was getting ready to leave, and he was just humming to himself and playing the piano. And he said, I think I've got an idea just for you. And he said, I was stalking your Instagram and I saw something that you posted about your home church in East Tennessee. I think it's a song. He had a similar story with the church that he was raised in Texas. He looked at me and he said, press record on your cell phone. I'm not gonna remember a word I say. So this was on October 21st, 2021. I just pressed record and this is what came out of his mouth.
I know the stained glass never saved a soul, and these pews that won't be on the roll called up yonder. I know it's just a building, not another way, but it's the building where Jesus changed my life.
At this point I was sobbing. I get chills just listening to that. It takes me back to that moment, and it just feels like a gift. When we talked about recording The Building, everybody was kind of in agreement that it needed just to be simple, just piano and vocal. But then it just kind of evolved as we started recording it. It was my first time working with Gordon Mote, who is an incredible musician, one of the best piano players of all time, in my opinion. When I played the song for my producer, Trent Willman, I told him that I would love to have Gordon play. Gordon did his beautiful part on the piano, and he recorded some B3, and we brought in Janae Fleener, and she did the strings. She sat there and heard the song for the first time and arranged an entire string section in the song, just there in the moment. Janae even did some kind of ooze that you'll hear in the second verse into the chorus. It doesn't even really sound like voices, it's just like this beautiful layer, and it is an honor to have them both on this song. That day, I was feeling a little bit under the weather. My throat was not in tip-top shape, I would say. And so I went in to the recording session that day just thinking I would get a scratch vocal done, and I'd come in on another day and actually record the vocal. And I was also telling all the guys in the studio that I needed to lower the key of the song because I thought for sure it was way too high. Well, Gordon let me do one pass, a whole step lower. When we got done, he was like, I know I'm not the producer, but I'm not letting you record this song in this key. You can do it, don't get in your head. You sing it flawlessly in the other key. Basically, gave me this really encouraging pep talk while also being like, quit being a wimp, just do it. I mean, The Building is a song that really challenges me as a singer. And not only does it have this crazy range, it needs to be so personal and intimate as well. So it was really important to not be too technical in studio when I was cutting my vocal. I want to hit every note perfect. It wasn't even that as much as I want to tell this story and I want to share my heart. This song has proved a lot to me too about my ability as a vocalist. I mean, that bridge is soaring and it has notes that I don't normally tackle, but every time I sing it, I'm like, I'm a singer. And I'm so glad that I cut the vocal that day because all the emotion, I think, was just so fresh. With it being the day that we recorded this song, for me to be able to put my vocal down, I was just really in the moment. We mixed it and we sat down with my whole team and with Trent, and my manager said, I never thought I would say this, but I think we should add percussion. We hired Eric Darkin to do percussion on the track, and it made it feel like a movie. It brought it to this new place that I never dreamed for it to go. And it's so neat to be able to work with such creative people because everybody hears stuff different and they are able to give insight into what could make something even better that I'm not able to always see or hear in a song. And so it was really cool to have everybody's different input and see what this song could blossom into.
I know the stained glass never saved a soul, and these pews
It's an amazing feeling to write a song and then see it connect with people. When I write songs and when I record them and release them and perform them, I just want so badly to connect with people. I have had people message me and write out specific things that came to mind when they heard this song. Just the other day I had a girl who messaged me, she had just heard the song and she said, "Your song took me right back to sitting in the pews of," and she named the church that she belonged to as a young girl, and she said, "You know, my aunt sat in front of me, my grandmother sat behind me, and she'd always sneak candy over the back of the pew while they preached so that I could get through the sermon." But I just thought, that's so cool that you hear this and your experiences come to mind. And it's obvious that this song is about my church. That's what the muse was, that's what the inspiration was. But when I think about it, there are so many other buildings and places that changed my life forever. I think back to The Voice. I wouldn't be sitting here doing this right now if it wasn't for that opportunity. I like to say that going back on The Voice set is like going back to high school a little bit, because I grew up so much and I was just 16 years old when I was on the show, and when I think about that time in my life, I think about The Voice. And then now, it's crazy to say this, but another place that has changed the course of my life is the Grand Ole Opry. Standing in that circle and singing on that stage, I mean, this song might not have been released if it wasn't for the opportunity to play it there, to see it connect, and to be able to share my music in that circle and on that stage. There's so many special buildings in my life that have changed it.
Oh, it's just a building, plain and simple white, but it's the building where Jesus changed my life. It's the building where Jesus changed my life.